What if you love your product and have confidence it will sell, but the manufacturer has a very high minimum order quantity due to the customization required? This is a really good question. This has come up a couple times with a few different students of mine. Let me think of an example. I know who submitted this question and I know what your product is. So without speaking about the product idea, let's just come up with just like some random example. I don't know how good of an example this is. This is the only thing I have like sitting here. A marker. I got an expo marker here. Let's pretend that you have an idea for a really awesome brand of dry erase markers, like an expo marker. You're going to customize it in some way, shape, or form, and you're really confident. You know it's going to be a great product. You feel really great about your marketing strategy. You're going to leverage some platforms you already have with social media and other things, and so you're really excited about the potential of the product idea. However, you search your manufacturer, you say, "Hey, I'm going to make my own brand of dry erase markers. This is how I want it customized." And then your manufacturer keeps saying, or all of them, because you're sourcing lots of different manufacturers, you're messaging dozens of people. They're all saying the same thing. They're all saying, yes, we can do that, but you're going to need to order 10,000 expo markers. That kind of can crush you a little bit with costs, right? That's the big concern here. You feel confident in your product selling. The real question being asked is that cost risk worth the reward down the road? Because if I have to order 10,000 of these, and let's pretend they're $1 a piece for easy math, because I'm not good at math in my head, $10,000. So it's going to cost you $10,000 to place your first order. That's pretty expensive for a first order. I mean, think about it. You feel like your product's going to sell. I mean, you feel really good about it, but you haven't proven it in the market yet. So any money you spend at this point before proving concept in the market with sales is a total risk. I shouldn't say 100% risk, because like we do our research, right? That's the whole reason we're here. Jungle Scout, we're doing product research, pricing analysis, everything to get the data to support that we are going to be successful. But until you get those first few sales, there's always like that doubt, right? There's always that fear. So what this really comes down to, in my opinion, is your personal tolerance for risk. This really is, I think, a personal question, because it comes down to, okay, how much do you believe in your product idea based on the data you've gathered, based on your strategy, versus how much it's going to cost you for your first order? Your first order is the only order in question, if you think about it, especially for a high minimum order quantity. Because if your first minimum order quantity is 10,000, and you order 10,000 of them, you're going to have 10,000 of these, right? I mean, that sounds really dumb the way that I just said that, but you're going to have 10,000 of these to sell. If you sell 8,000 of them before, you have to place your next order to make sure your supply chain's flowing. If you sell 8,000 of these, congrats, you've proven concept. I would like to think, assuming you're profitable, which I believe you're going to be if you have a good profit margin. So if you order 10,000, you sell 8,000, you're off and rolling, boom, baby, we are in business. So it's only the first order that's really the question. So again, how much do you believe in your product versus how much risk are you willing to take? If you're in a financial situation of life where you don't have $10,000 to spend on this business, then that becomes a little bit trickier question to answer. In that situation, I'm trying to decide if I really want to say this or not. In that situation, I would probably strongly consider, if assuming you want to move forward, but you don't have the money. Like, yes, I feel really good about it, but I don't really have the money. I don't really have $10,000 for that order. I would consider a couple things. I would not consider putting it all in a credit card and having credit card debt, because that is really expensive debt. I would consider a business partner. So bringing on a business partner that can split that cost with you 50-50, or however you decide, maybe 70-30, I don't know, 50-50. So you only are responsible for 5,000. They are responsible for 5,000. That's one thing you can do. The other thing you can do is look for like an angel type of investor. The way that I use angel investors for like our type of Amazon business would just be like a very, very close trusted friend or family member. Probably your best option to go for a loan like this would be your parents, if they have that type of money available to support you. I would like to hope that your parents love you enough to where they would support you with a loan to where you could pay it back in your own time. They're not going to charge you a ridiculous amount of interest on it or anything dumb like that. So that's going to be a really safe haven for you to really make this happen. Again, assuming that, yes, you really believe in it and you want to move forward with it. Those are the two things that I would recommend. Other than that, like, you could go get like a small business loan from your bank. I'm not super knowledgeable on all those other types of loans, and I don't really have a really strong recommendation on one to do, simply because I'm of the strategy of I'm going to either bootstrap it myself with my own money with a business partner or with an angel investment. I'm not putting tons of money on credit cards to go into debt there. I'm not going out and getting really high interest loans. I'm going to try to utilize those resources first before I would ever consider doing one of the other options out there. The other option, that's the option of, yes, I believe in my product and I want to move forward with it, but I don't have the money. Now, if you have the money, like if you have $100,000 sitting in your bank, then $10,000 shouldn't be a huge deal to you. In that case, then it's like, that's not really that big of a risk, right? So it's all relative to how much money you have in the bank available for this. But the other option would be to start with a different product that either has a lower cost, a lower minimum order quantity, and try to launch with that to build up some cash flow to then move into this other product that you really are excited about that could potentially do well for you down the road. I've had conversations with a few of you already via our email communication about this, meaning you have a really awesome product idea, but I can just tell just by the product idea itself that it's going to be very expensive to make and they're going to require a high minimum order quantity. So it might be better for you to do that as a second product. If I were to give you guys just like a little rundown of how our business has run, we started with a product that we were really excited about, we felt really good about, but it was one that we had a low minimum order quantity. So we didn't have to order 10,000 units and it's low cost. So it didn't require a ton of capital. It was a great starting product for us. Now, our second product that we're working on right now that we're still developing is about a $9 cost per unit product. So much more expensive than the current product we sell, and a much higher minimum order quantity. We have custom components, we have mold costs, like there's custom machining going on with this. So if we were to do this product as our first product instead of dog bandanas, we probably would have spent, I mean, we're going to probably order, let me see right here. We're probably going to have to order 5,000 of these. 5,000 of these at $9 a unit is $45,000. We're probably going to have to fork over $45,000 to place our very first order for this second product line. And that's for one variation. That would have completely not been an option as our first product for us based on like my tolerance for risk and finance and everything. However, now we're in a really good situation with our cash flow and our profitability and our capital we have in our bank for our business that we can afford to do that. We can afford to take that risk and put up that money to make this product happen. So that's why I say maybe push it to your second product, wait a year and a half. And when you have that cash flow built up and you have 50, 60, 100 grand sitting in your bank account, then yeah, you can go spend $20,000 no problem to release your second product and you're not going to be stressed about it.